Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading this is your September bonus reading, actually. We're going to look at the main events that will be happening for you this month. So we're going to look at the Mercury Retrograde on the 9th in Libra, and that will be this first row. And you got two cards, so we'll actually take both. Why not, Virgo? In your second row, we're going to take a look at the full moon in Pisces. That is going to be on the 10th of the month, and that'll be right here. Then we're going to look at the just Libra season in general. Libra season starts on the 22nd, but there's a lot going on in Libra this month. You know, of course, the Mercury retrograde. Also on the 29th, Venus will be entering into Libra as well. And on top of that, there's a new moon in Libra on the 25th, and we're going to look at that here. But there's just, this row here is just going to be whatever is coming up for you with all this Libra energy, because it is such a dominant energy this month. On top of that, we're going to pull 3 yes or no question cards at the end. But you start off here with this new moon in Aries. It says it's time to take action. You also have this full moon in Libra. It says a win-win outcome is forecast. I don't know, it looks pretty good to me. So if you're thinking about taking action on anything, I would definitely get moving. It's crazy. Every single sign has had the Hermit, and you have the Hermit, which is you, showing up in a very strong position in your reading. But, you know, it is kind of interesting. We have Mercury retrograde. Mercury retrograde is a great time for introspection. It is a great time for thinking about things. But what I would say, because of these two cards, I would get moving. You know, if you've been thinking about something for a long time, the Hermit can represent needing to set yourself free. You have the Hermit, the Two of Pentacles, and the Six of Swords. The reason the Hermit can represent needing to set yourself free is that he might be frozen at the top of that mountain. You can see his feet are stuck in the ice, but he could easily take that lantern. He could put it down by his feet, and he could set himself free. So in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like you need to set yourself free from something here, Virgo. And did I call you Libra? I don't know. I've been saying Libra so many times today that I just can't get it, that I can't get it out of my mouth, right? But anyway, he needs to set himself free. And the reason I'm also saying this is you have this Two of Pentacles. But I get like this, you know, the words that are popping into my head are, should I stay or should I go? But that's not, you know, intuitively, that's not what I feel. Those are the words I'm getting, but I feel what those words are meaning are like, do I get started or do I wait for the end of the retrograde, or, you know, do I wait till this happens or that happens? I feel that this whole entire first row is saying it is time for you to take action on something that you've been thinking about. It's kind of funny because, you know, his hat on his head here, it always reminds me of a traffic cone, you know, that you see when you're driving down the road. And that is popping into my head. I feel like this is saying that, guess what? Yes, there's a Mercury retrograde, but we can't let astrology control our life. If we did, we wouldn't do anything for like 4 months out of the year, at least minimum, right? A year like this, we wouldn't do a goddamn thing, period. So what I would say here is that I feel like the traffic cone on his head is saying, you know, pay attention to the warning signs, follow the typical retrograde rules, but as long as you double, triple, quadruple check everything, I feel like you'll be perfectly fine. You have the Six of Swords here. The Six of Swords is a card of moving on to calmer shores, and I definitely feel there are a lot of improvements coming in for you. It's kind of interesting because, you know, as a collective, most people seem to be moving on from something. You are different. You're the only sign that I feel like maybe has already moved on from something, and you're kind of like a couple steps ahead of everybody else, where maybe you're in the healing phase already, or maybe you already have healed. It's like you've already moved on from something. You're not getting the same cards like the Five of Swords or the, you know, so I don't know, some of these other cards that everybody else is getting. So pretty interesting. Let's see. With the Hermit, you have the King of Swords. Yeah, see, the Hermit, he climbed to the top of that mountain to gain knowledge and wisdom. And here you go. Knowledge and wisdom is his middle name, the King of Swords. So it's like you have everything you need. You know everything you need to know. And I would just like get moving with this energy. So I feel that you need to set your feet free. Wherever you feel like your feet are frozen, wherever you feel like you can't move forward, this reading is saying go, go. Here you go. With the Two of Pentacles. Are you kidding me? Not at once. Get moving is what I would say here. Start working towards the things that you want. I feel like you're going to be very successful. Here's the thing about the Knight of Wands that I'm getting is that, of course, he's very spontaneous. He's willing to go on the adventure, but, he's also willing to build anything he needs to build. Some of you, if you're kind of thinking about starting something new, like a new business or a new relationship, maybe you're thinking I don't have all the tools I need. I don't have all the things that I require. He's willing to build the tools. He's willing to just figure it out as he goes. And I kind of feel that would be a good energy for you at this time, is to kind of just see, just get started on whatever you're thinking about getting started on and just see how things go and then build along the way, That's what I'd be doing here. I also do feel there could be love coming in for you, and it could be a fire sign. You've been getting a fire sign, I swear, for months, right? Am I going crazy? I don't think so. Well, I am, but in a different way. With the Six of Swords, you have the Devil. The Devil could be what you are moving away from, obviously, toxic energy. I don't know. I feel like since probably the beginning of COVID, you've had something toxic that you've been dealing with. For some of you, it could be COVID, but or your health. And again, I'm not a doctor, so do not take this as medical advice. But I feel like you're kind of getting over a hump here, is the energy that I get on that Six of Swords. Not like the traditional Six of Swords energy that I get there. Six of Swords is normally moving on to calmer shores. And I'm not saying you're not, because I feel like you are, but it's giving me a different vibe, like getting over a hump, getting over, an obstacle, almost like strength card, right? A strength card can be a card of overcoming an obstacle, but in a strength way, and I kind of get that more here. I hope that makes sense with that energy. Next, in the area of the full moon in Pisces on the 10th, you have this "You Are What You Think" card. So I would definitely say that this full moon is definitely one of manifestation. It's in Pisces. We have Neptune in Pisces. Neptune in Pisces is manifestation on steroids. So, I keep telling everybody to make sure to watch their words. I've been saying this for like literally over 3 years, probably 4 years now. And I'm going to keep saying it. So, nothing's going to change. But what I would say here is that I would be very, very careful with how you think about yourself. And I would, I think it's a great time to brainwash yourself. I said this in a reading, I don't know, like a couple weeks ago. It might have been to you. I don't remember who. But I was talking about how I brainwash myself into positivity and everything else. And I don't know, it works and it's free. So I think it would be a good time to watch out for your words. You have the Six of Wands, the Lovers, and the Chariot. Really, really nice row. Definitely could be a victory coming in for you with the Chariot card. The Chariot is also a card of control. And so I feel like you're taking more control over your life. I have a weird message here that if some of you have wanted to travel to a location for a very long period of time, feels pretty far away to me, Virgo. So it's not like you're just going down the road here. I feel like you could be traveling, quite a distance for some of you to another country. For whatever reason, I feel like there's an opportunity that could be presenting itself in the very near future, probably this month. I don't think you're going to travel this month is what I'm getting here. I feel the opportunity presents itself and then you're going to be traveling in the future. I like it. Like if you've ever always wanted to go to a certain location or whatever, you could be traveling. That feels very specific. And again, it feels far away, very distant, like another country or, across your entire country, wherever you're from or something along those lines. You have the Six of Wands. Six of Wands, a card of success. I hear the word award popping into my head, but I feel like for those of you that have been waiting for an award or that maybe have entered into a competition or something, you could be receiving an award here this month with the Six of Wands around the time of the new moon in Pisces, the full moon in Pisces. I also feel there could just be more abundance coming in for you. Things are working out for you more. Again, I don't necessarily think life is getting easier, but I do feel that you're starting to notice that the scales, Libra, right, energy this entire month, I feel the scales are tipping more in your favor. So again, I like to stress that maybe you're not winning all the time, but I do feel maybe you're noticing that things are kind of just going your way a little bit more. And that's sometimes all we need. You do have the Lovers here, and I do feel that there could be a focus on love for you this month. I feel you're kind of focusing on the small things about love. That's what I'm hearing in my head. Maybe you're getting very clear on the details of love, like what you expect in love. For some of you, this could be very mental, where you're just thinking oh, what type of person? What does my person look like? Maybe you're getting very detailed, and I think that's a great thing to do, by the way, because again, when we become specific, when we know what we want, we can attract it very quickly. So you could be getting very specific about it. Let's see. With the Six of Wands, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is a wish and wish fulfillment. Almost every single person has had the Nine of Cups, so I would make a wish. Seems to be a really good time for making a wish, probably around that Pisces full moon on the 10th. So I feel if you have any wishes or anything you desire, I said the word award on the Six of Wands. That's pretty similar to a wish, right? So that's what I would do. With the lovers, you have the world. I mean, are you kidding me? I literally talked about traveling to another country. Here you go. For some of you, it could be for love. This could be like long distance love or long distance connection. I'm getting Aquarius popping into my head. So, it could be with an Aquarius or someone who has a lot of Aquarius in their chart. It could also be Capricorn as well, I should say. What I would also say is that I feel there are some accomplishments coming in for you. The world alone is an accomplishment. But with the Six of Wands, it kind of takes it to a whole other level because, both cards together is some sort of major accomplishment that you could be receiving. For some of you, it could be a personal accomplishment with the world clarifying the lovers because the lovers, outside of love, can just be you being at a crossroads, having a decision to make, and you're just picking the new path. With the Chariot, you have the Emperor. I feel for a lot of you that you could be taking control over your destiny. The Chariot is a card of hard control. It is not a card of just kind of like letting things happen, right? The Chariot says where there's a will, there's a way, but there are two cards of control. There's actually three, but the two cards of control are the Strength card and the Chariot. Strength card is soft control. The Chariot is hard control, meaning you're like taking control of the wheel. And I feel for some of you that this is the third card of control, right? He is controlling. That can be a positive or a negative with the Emperor, but I kind of feel like this is you taking action because you have that New Moon and Aries card. It says it's time to take action. And I feel like you're taking control of your destiny here. Next, in the area of just Libra season in general, you have this Chaos and Conflict card. Again, this is going to start on the 22nd, and we're going to have all this energy moving through Libra from there on. And what I would say is that you could be kind of clearing out some chaos and conflict in your life because you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords, to me, can sometimes be a never-ending story, just like a thing that just keeps repeating in your life over and over and over again. And that is the one similarity you have here with other readings that I've done so far. Is everyone has had the Nine of Swords as well, and I feel a lot of people could be removing just repeating situations. You have the Three of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Judgment card. I would definitely be careful of anyone coming back from the past. Again, if there is ever a time to not take a person back, it's during Mercury retrograde. What I would say is I don't always necessarily agree with that either because it's like, yeah, it could be a huge friggin' mistake for you to take the person back. It could upset you. But at the same time, Mercury retrograde, a person comes back and you could clear things up. You could clear the air. You could heal the situation. Or you could have a big blowout fight with the person. Maybe it kind of seems bad on the surface, but at the same time, maybe now the person is showing their true colors. It's like maybe before the retrograde, a person was just always being nice and they weren't showing who they really were. Sometimes I feel that retrogrades can kind of expose the shadow, right? And so for some of you, if a person does come back, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but they just know that they could be exposing their shadow. For others, I do feel you're really waking up to your true purpose probably around the 22nd. And the thing is that there's a lot of detail at the end of the reading, which again kind of makes sense to me. The end of the year, we have the Mars retrograde October 30th. So the end of the year, it kind of gets a little slow. But is this a bad thing? I would say no, because I feel that we could be entering into this time where maybe a lot of us are waking up to our purpose. And, the slowing down energy is allowing us to, process information. It's allowing us to gestate our ideas, I get Emperor vibes for a lot of people, or Empress, I should say, because she's like the mother. So, you could be pregnant with an idea starting on the 22nd, and it's something that you're kind of taking care of inside your mind, right, or your body for a long time, almost kind of like a mother, if that makes sense. You have the Nine of Swords again. I would be careful of repeat situations. Nine of Swords is going to sleep, having a nightmare, waking up, and still being in a nightmare. So I would make sure that you're ending anything that causes chaos and conflict in your life with the Nine of Swords. And definitely with the Three of Cups as well. The Three of Cups can represent a celebration, but it's also a card of a reunion. So I would be careful of that energy. That's pretty much all I'm getting here in this row. Let's see what we have going on for you here, Virgo. With the Three of Cups, you have the Chariot. You do have the Chariot twice. So the Chariot is a victory, but it can also represent moving on. He is leaving the city that is behind him. He's meant to kind of look like the Magician as well. I'm going to show you the big version of the card so you can actually see it. But he kind of looks like the Magician, and, it's kind of meant to represent him having a new beginning. So I feel for a lot of you that around the 22nd, you could be moving on to something new or looking for something new. Could also be around the 29th as well. Again, on the 29th, Venus enters into Libra. So that could also be the case. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Hierophant. It's funny because you have the Hierophant going up here. So you have the Hierophant and then the Hierophant here. This to me says that you've probably learned some sort of lesson from this situation, or you're kind of like moving past a lesson. With the Judgment card, you have the Four of Swords, recovery, and also hoping and praying. I feel for some of you that you're getting things that you ask for very quickly. So that could be good and bad. I always tell the story, that there have been times in my life where, like, I've said to the universe, hey, if X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, if it's a relationship or a business or something, if it's not good for me, remove it from my life. And I'm like, boom, it's gone, right? And so, again, and sometimes I've regretted it personally. Do I really regret it? No, because clearly whatever it wasn't right for me, and I have moved on to bigger and better things. But at the time, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, why did I ask for this to happen, right? And so I kind of feel that energy here with the Four of Swords. Is it such a bad thing? Again, I would say in the long run, no. The other thing I would say is I also do feel there are rewards coming in for you, like we said with the Nine of Cups and the Six of Wands, where if you are asking for help, I feel like help is going to show up. If you're asking for guidance, I feel like you're going to get the guidance. The Two of Swords just popped out here, and the Two of Swords really says you're going to have to see it. You're going to have to, pay attention to it. Next, in the area of the new moon in Libra on the 25th, you have this mouse card. The mouse is about paying attention to the small details, and that's really all I'm getting here is I feel that this is asking you to pay attention to all the details. Of course, with Mercury retrograde, if you're signing anything, if you're dealing with any paperwork or anything like that, I would really make sure to pay attention to the small details of everything. And I would double check it. As I say with every retrograde, it's like I would double, triple, quadruple check everything. If you're signing something, you should look at it twice. You should have your partner or person in your life look at it twice, and then maybe bring it to a lawyer as well, right? Especially if it's super important. I wouldn't mess around. I would just double check everything with that energy. You have the Hierophant, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Knight of Swords. The Hierophant is a card of kind of like traditions and traditional beliefs. It can also be a card of marriage. I do feel that there could be love coming in for you that could lead to marriage in the future. I would say it's something very stable. I feel like the person wants to work for you very hard as well. Like they want to work for the relationship is what I mean. So it's definitely a person who's willing to put in the work, which is nice, and I feel that here. You have the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is my card of making a change, and it definitely looks to me like, this whole entire reading to me is you picking a new path, going in a new direction. Lovers, you have the World, the Chariot twice, the Judgment card, waking up to a new opportunity, and I really kind of feel you're having a wake-up call in the sense that you're waking up to new opportunities in your life. And finally, you have the Knight of Swords, charging towards success. Very interesting as well that the Knight of Swords comes up a lot, I've noticed, just over the years during retrogrades. And I don't know, sometimes I think when we have these retrograde energies, we just want to get away from it. And so I feel like the Knight of Swords is saying, like, don't try to run away from these lessons necessarily. Try to learn from them and all that other stuff so that you don't have to repeat them in the future. With the Hierophant, you have the Three of Pentacles. Yeah, like I said, someone who actually wants to build something. Damn. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work. And as far as love is concerned, it always reminds me of attracting a person who actually wants to build something of quality. Three of Pentacles is quality work. So in love, I feel you could be attracting a person who actually wants to make it work, which is nice. With the Seven of Pentacles, you have the Temperance card. Temperance can represent kind of turning one thing into another. So I feel you could be turning, it kind of says use your powers of manifestation, because you could turn a negative into a positive or a positive into a negative. It kind of works both ways. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Ace of Cups. See, someone is rushing in for love, I feel, but it might be, I feel it's more towards the beginning of next month, honestly, like October timeframe. But this could be kind of coming in last minute here as well. For some of you, I have a weird story. Like I would be just, I don't want to freak anyone out here, Virgo, but I would just say if you have anyone who you just, just like a creeper in your life as far as love is concerned. I'm not saying you love this person. I'm kind of getting the vibes of someone who just wants to pay a little bit too much attention to you. It might be time to kind of block that person or to end the relationship. I just get this energy of someone kind of chasing after you. And again, I don't mean that in like a dangerous way or anything like that, but I do feel it might be time to cut someone off here for sure. But other than that, I feel like there's probably communication coming in, like if you're single, if you're looking for love, maybe in October. But we're going to do 3 yes or no question cards now here, Virgo. Did I say Libra again? I probably did. But anyway, Virgo, sorry. We're going to do 3 yes or no question cards, 1, 2, 3. So feel free to pause this reading if you need time to think of your questions. I'm going to be saying Libra all day because there's so much Libra energy. For question number 1, Virgo, I would say yes. You have the Ace of Swords of victory. Good things coming in for you. So definitely yes. I feel like there could be a truth coming out here as well. But I feel like it's a positive truth. For question number 2, I would say yes. I would also trust your heart. King of Cups to me, regardless of what you're asking, and I would trust, don't listen to me on this question. I would listen to yourself. Sometimes I feel like the King of Cups says, don't listen to anyone, listen to your own heart. He has very deep emotions. He's sitting in the middle of the ocean. The whole point of the card is to trust your own emotions. Finally, for question number 3, I would say yes, Wheel of Fortune. Things turning around in your favor. It does look like a turnaround reading, but I feel for you, the turnaround is coming through picking a new path or kind of going a new direction. Looks pretty good here, Virgo. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.